Ladies and gentlemen, how are you? Good to be back. I'm sorry, I was sitting there going, click to Nights with Ping, with Nights with Ping, with Nights with Ping, just over and over for like 10 minutes to get into my branding and stuff. Really annoying. Uh, I don't know what's going on now. It's telling us we have no recording space. So I don't know what's going on with StreamYard, but it's having a moment. It's having a moment. Good to see you all. Good to see you. So many people turned out tonight. It's really nice to see everyone. Let me go back in the chat. Mr. Danny was first. He says first. Sean says he was second. Shasta was third. Hey, Glitter. Good to see you. Kathy is driving home from somewhere. Sean made it. Hey, Sean. Thanks for the email. Maria, Gayla's here. Marilyn Landis made it. Good to see you, Marilyn Landis. Who else is here? Oh, the Thoris. Hey, my friend. It's good to see you. Glad to see you in the chat. I hope everything's going well. Hey, Andrew. Good to have you too. Emily Knob made it. Oh, it's a special night. Rachel's here. JDR. Everyone's here. I have an interesting, we got 3 or 4 things I want to talk about before we get into it. Hey, Sienna, good to see you. One, last night when we did the show, we talked about heaps of different topics, and we didn't do the one that was in the title of the show. I got off the show and I was like, wait, hold on a minute. We didn't talk about the person, like the case that was in the title. So I'm sorry about that. We'll do that in a little while. 2, do you guys remember that car crash that happened a couple of weeks ago? That really devastating one in California? The one where the girl was crossing lanes and she thought there was an exit. There wasn't, so she swerved back in and lost control of the vehicle and then crashed into the overpass. She died at the scene. Well, I learned today that apparently they released her name. So I want to show you that because I think even though they're saying that she was a car thief, we don't know why the car was stolen. Like they've never released a reason for it. They've never said what or how it was stolen. You know, like if you were borrowing a friend's car and they were like, "Hey, you didn't return it," and then they reported it stolen due to insurance or something. Like we just don't know what the reason is. It could be a million different things. Yeah, see, it even says in this article, it's unclear how the vehicle was reported stolen. Really tragic. This girl was young, really young, 26, very, very young lady. Um, and I feel terrible for her family because they all had to watch this. I'm guarantee you they've all seen it. Her name was Anna. So her name was Anna. She's 26 years old. Gonna say her last name is pronounced Zorna with a Z, and she was 26. And this was like, yeah, I'm not gonna play it, but this was her final moments. You can sort of see that screenshot right there. That's just before she loses control of that vehicle. Um, yeah, I feel very, very awful for her family. It's not something we ever want to ever see. I mean, it doesn't matter who it is. It doesn't matter if they're, I don't know, stolen a car or whatever. We'd rather see them charged and learn their lesson for that type of crime than die in such a tragic and traumatic way. You think like I'm not going to play it, but I'll show you the bit where I'm like, she must have known something was wrong. Oh, right, right about, right about there, right about there. Hopefully, it won't play if I make it bigger. There we go. Right about there. She must have known this is not going to end well. I don't know what people think in that moment of their lives when they just know, oh, I've really screwed up. This is not going to, either this is really going to hurt or I ain't going to wake up from this. But she must have known she made a really terrible decision. So what they think, at least from the description that I heard, is that she thought that there was an exit back here. Like I said, I'm not going to play the crash. See, she's running along here. I think because she just crossed a whole bunch of lanes of traffic on the other side, on the left of her vehicle. She just crossed something that looked very similar to this. And I think what she was trying to do is because she did it earlier in the chase, she was trying to lose the police. So she was like, "Hey, I'm going to go left. Oh no, I'm actually going to stay on this, highway." and I think she thought that was an exit or something, and she overcorrected, went far too much right, and then tried to overcorrect to her left, and then lost control of the vehicle, realizing that she was running out of real estate. Yeah, it was live on Mel. Yeah, I'm glad Mel did it. I like that guy. What we I wish he'd contact me. We should team up. We should do some car chases. We both would be good at that together. Uh we'd be a good power team doing live coverage of car chases. Glitter says, yeah, I've seen a few of those things like where they say it's like an aeroplane or a helicopter or something or a mobile phone. And then I think maybe people back then just liked drawing shapes of stuff. And then because we're in our century now, that we're just like, oh my God, it must be a helicopter. And if we went back in time, they'd be like, nah, man, that's just my really crappy drawing of a tree. Like that's just how I draw trees. I'm not a very good artist. So, I was hoping no one would notice, but now a million years later, someone has. Uh, y- Laura T says that would be cool. Well, I don't know. Me and Mel don't know each other, so we're gonna have to find that introduction somehow. All right, you send me the email. Hey, hey, Mama Mia, good to see you. LMS, good to have you guys. So yeah, I really just wanted to start the show with this because I felt like at least we know her name. I tried looking for a photo, and while I did find an Anazona that lives in the area, I can't verify it's her. But I did find a girl who matches the age, and it does look like it could be her, but I, I can't guarantee it's her or anything. So, but she looked like a very nice young lady. I don't understand what went so wrong in her life. Look, this was from a different video. I'll show you the photo, but again, I can't verify it. Here's the photo that I've seen floating about. Yeah, it looks like a very nice young lady. I don't know why that car was reported stolen or why she felt the need to go on a high-speed pursuit through California. All I can say is I put a lot of prayers and stuff out to her family, and I don't know. I hope they're getting a lot of support because if this was an 18-year-old, we would all go, wow, they're so young, they hadn't learnt their lessons yet. Maybe they could have had, something else and we could have figured it out and they would have had their life. I still think 26 is pretty young. It's pretty young in the grand scheme of life. And I feel like she could have grown up into a law-abiding, nice person who pays her taxes and waters her garden on the second Thursday of every month like the city council wants you to do. I'm sure that could happen. Um, but unfortunately, it will not because she is no longer with us. And there you go. I just wanted to put a face to the name, face to the. I wanted to put a face to the tragedy that happened with this one. The Thoris says, I don't know why, but if I am in a live waiting, it never starts for me. I have to refresh. It did that to me at WebSleuth. Um, it's because I changed the time. So if I change the time, oftentimes it won't auto start for a lot of people. I moved it back a little bit because Trish was not done. So I didn't want to pressure her to come off at half past the hour. I didn't want to pressure her, and sometimes she feels. I think I've never asked her, but I think that she sometimes feels pressured to jump off if she sees that I've got a live show waiting at half past the hour and she can see it. So I moved it back to give her a little bit of breathing room to finish her show how she wanted to. Because yeah, I didn't want her to feel like she had to finish because of me. All right. Hey, good to see you. I hope you're doing better. I really am. I really hope you're feeling a lot better. All right, let's head out to Sydney. There has been crazy updates in this. I almost jumped back on last night because when I got off the air like that, we got a whole bunch of updates, including a 32-year-old man 1 hour after that press conference yesterday with police handed himself into Narellan police station over the death of that 15-year-old boy. He actually drove to the cop shop and handed himself in. And it's saying here that the boy, 15 years old, cannot be named for legal reasons. So in Australia, you can't name minors. Very similar to the USA, I guess. Maybe. Maybe more similar to the UK, that you can't name minors. Um, they're saying here the boy's body was found dumped in bushland off Wilton Park Road on Saturday morning. And they're saying the guy's name is the offender is named Jacob Greig. He's 32. Now, we were saying yesterday, we thought this might be, there's a pixelated photo of the young man who died. We were saying yesterday, oh, this could be like a traffic accident. Could have got hit by a car or something like that. He was stabbed to death. He wasn't hit by a vehicle. He was stabbed. That's what all that blood on the road is. Like, wow. Who would have a knife there in the middle of the night in this road? Like, it shows you that crime can happen anywhere at any point. Yeah, he handed himself in an hour after the press conference yesterday. So, yes, he handed himself in. Yeah, so this is the location where it happened. We're watching the live stream yesterday. Who would be out here with a knife at 3 a.m. in the morning? That's like some Freddy Krueger, Jason type, situation where you're in the middle of the bush having it. He was there apparently camping with friends, and there is literally a guy with a giant knife. That is the basis for half of the horror movies in Hollywood. That is awful. Yeah, he stabbed him. It was a knife-related death, and that guy, I don't know the circumstances behind it. They haven't said anything yet. This is the guy right here. This is the guy who has been charged with murder over the death of that 15-year-old boy. They're saying this guy only moved to the area recently, and he'd not been living in the area that long. He's actually from a different part of Australia. I'll tell you in a second. And yeah, he's not a local really. He's been there for a short period of time, and now he's been involved in a massive crime against a 15-year-old. This is where Ping always tells everyone, just stay in your own lane. Who cares what other people are doing? Who cares? Don't worry about it. Like, that's how I live my life. Unless someone needs help or something, that's when I'll intervene. But if I see someone and they're being an idiot, I'll just let them be an idiot. If I see someone over there yelling at me, I'll just let them yell at me. Like, I don't care if they're yelling at me. They're the ones who look stupid, not me. I'm walking by. Um, yeah, like, I just don't understand how these things happen, 'cause it seems like a random encounter. Doesn't seem like these guys knew each other. Like, what would a 32-year-old be doing camping with 15-year-olds on a Friday night? But you can see a lot of his buddies have been leaving, condolences online on social media. Someone says here, "You were way too young to leave so soon. You will forever be missed by this community, by your friends, by your family. I send my condolences to all loved ones. Rest easy, redacted. You didn't deserve that." I don't think anyone deserves to die, but yes, I understand the sentiment. Here's the another photo of the accused. He is apparently a chef, so he works in a commercial kitchen. And there's the scene. There's another photo of the boy. Apparently, he was a very nice young lad. Apparently, he's very helpful to the community. Very involved in his local school and sporting clubs and stuff like that. Like, typical country kids. They're saying here, police believe roughly a dozen young campers may have gathered on Friday evening near the area where the boy's body was found. They're saying, according to his social media profiles, the accused is originally from the New South Wales Central Coast area, but now lives in the region where the crime has occurred. And yeah, this guy, he looks very different. He has long hair in this photo. Hold on, I don't want to give you motion sickness. He has long hair in this photo, right? But if we go down here, he has shaved sides, similar to me. He has a beard and he has either pulled back hair or he's got combed back hair. I can't see. Oh my god, it's me. Is it me? No, it's not. I didn't kill anyone, it's okay. And it says here, a teenager allegedly stabbed to death while camping with mates has been remembered as the most selfless boy as new details emerge about his accused killer. And they're saying uh, the the accused killer has been charged with murder and has been remanded in custody to front Parramatta bail court on Sunday. That was today, where he was refused bail this morning. Police will allege he stabbed the boy during a physical altercation. Why? Why the hell are you So he's a chef, right? Was he carrying his work knives in his vehicle? Was he carrying, like, a lot of chefs carry a because a lot of them don't get knives where they work, they have to or they like their own utensils, that type of thing. So they'll often carry one of those roll up, uh, I don't know what you call it. "Hey, Mrs. Ping, you were a chef at one point. What do you call those roll up things that you keep all your knives in?" A knife wrap, is that what you call it? She says it's called a knife wrap. Like a knife wrap, and that they take them to work, like, they put them in their backpack, and they have, like, a knife sharpener and different sized knives and, things. So, being a chef, is that what he used? Like, because otherwise, why would you have a knife on you? Why would you be driving around with a knife unless you're looking for a fight? But being that he is a chef, that might be a plausible explanation. Yeah, you didn't know that? We have one here, that's where we keep all our utensils. Where were his friends he was camping with? Yeah, that's something the police are gonna have to find out. Why did he become separated from all his buddies? And how come no one knew until 7 AM the following morning that he was dead on the side of a road? Because it wasn't if he is connected to the campers, he may not be. We don't know. But if he is, how come no one raised the alarm before a passing motorist or something in the morning saw the body and called emergency services? That's a long time to be just laying out there suffering from knife wounds. What a horrific death. I mean, the community must be in shock. They must really be very saddened at this. He had to have intention to have that murder charge instead of manslaughter. Hmm. Yes, in Australia, but they sometimes use manslaughter like murder too. Yeah, I'm no, I think why it's a murder charge is because I would say, this is what I'm gonna guess, is that it was unprovoked, and that is why it's a murder charge, not due to intent. At least I wonder if that's why. Hey, Jusk. He had an unhealthy obsession with knives. Thank you for giving that to me. I appreciate it. Unhealthy obsession with knives. That's scary. Another one of do you remember that case from America where there was that young guy, he ended up killing a couple people. He too had an unhealthy obsession with knives. He even named them. He had a name for them. I think one was called like Picky and the other one was called Pokey or something. Do you guys remember that case? Interesting that people who have obsession with knives have gone on to murder people. Um, Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know the full situation with the camping with friends. I try not to go trolling into people's personal social media. Um, I mean, the killer, sure, but the boy in that, I actually do know his name, but I just don't want to become part of the media who acts like that and makes the family worse off. Like, I could sit here and be like, yeah, his name is 15-year-old Billy Jenkins from wherever. Like, I don't want to be like that. Yeah, that's interesting information. I really like that. Thank you. That's very, very interesting. An unhealthy obsession with knives. So, do you think he just went out there with a bunch of knives to try and start a fight because he thought he was, you know, he wanted to like test his knives out, see if he was some sort of like cool guy. I'm a good fighter. I've got a weapon. Clitter says you're better than I am. I probably would not go into the kid's social media unless he was hanging out with my kid. And then I won't lie. I have to know stuff. Well, that's a mum's duty, isn't it? Oh, thank you. Hey, good to see you. I'm from the area, by the way. How did you find us? From the title? Glad to have you. Went to the same school as a kid. The area is plagued with too much death and S word. Sorry, I can't say that word, but I'll put it on the screen. I appreciate it. Thank you. Um, if you want to tell us anything else about the area, please don't name the kid or anything, being that he's a minor. But if you have anything interesting, let us know. Why would actually I got a question for you since you're from the area. Is it common for you like young people to go out into that area and sort of, drink beers, smoke a bit of weed or something on a Friday night? Is that like a common area, like a youth hangout? Actually, that's a question I'd like to know. Or is that sort of like just like a once off? Being act like we're in witness protection. We might be. How do you know? Hey, STL cards. Mel has a lot of car chases live. He does. That is true. He does because he's on a lot earlier than I am overnight. So he's often on during the daytime in the US, which I can't be because it's 4 a.m. in the morning. But maybe one day we'll hang out. Uh, Jusk. I'm going to say your name is Jusk. There we go. Not really from my knowledge. Wilton is rather small and only just growing now with like lots of new housing development. Picton and is it Thirlmere has more spots for camping. Interesting. That's interesting. Not a lot to see in Wilton. I wonder why they went out there then. Did they just not want to be bothered on a Friday night? Didn't want maybe like police raiding their camp or something to shut it down for underage drinking. That does happen, unfortunately. Glitter says I used to watch car chases all the time. Sometimes I watch them if I'm bored. One time I watched a guy get out of a car and he was running. Oh yeah, that guy. That was like last year, right? He Was it a woman or a guy? I know the one you're talking about. It was on the LA freeway and they were in a car chase and then he tried to get away. His car stopped or whatever. He hopped out of the car, tried to get onto the other side of the freeway, jumped or slipped and fell because it was an overpass. So there was a gap in the middle and he fell. I think he survived though. Found her name. Who's her, my friend? I'm not sure who you're talking about, but I'm interested. Yeah, Smoke and Scan. Damon. I love Damon. I've been watching him for I don't even know, like a decade or more. He's a great guy. Rogan. I don't know who Rogan is. Glitter said I think it was last year. It was a car full of dudes and they started running and spreading out and they jumped over the wall. Yeah, and they fell for ages. Yeah, they fell ages. Actually, there was. Do you guys want to? We'll get back to this one in a second. While we're on this topic, just for 1 minute. Um, it's interesting how these sort of relate into other crimes. The guy in the UK who he broke into morgues to sexually assault people, dead people. One of the victims that he assaulted was a girl who had, I think she'd crashed or broken down her car. She had done the same thing. She had tried to get to the other side of a freeway. She'd gone into the middle where to jump onto the other one. She slipped and fell and dropped down to the underpass below and died. She was one of his victims. Sorry, yeah, I know. It's my ADHD too, sorry. We'll get back to this story. The Thora says, from all the mini horses to you, Mrs. Ping Muffin, and the Knights with Ping mascots. Thank you, I appreciate it. It's so good to see you, my friend. It really is. I hope you're feeling a lot better. I really am. I know you've had your health troubles. I hope they're improving. The one that worked in the hospitals, he worked in, yeah, yes, he broke into morgues and he got busted only because they were looking into a murder from the 80s that he did. And then they uncovered the worst case of necrophilia in the UK ever recorded, ever. He had over 300 victims. Like, Really, really nasty person. Anyway, why are we talking about that? Let's go back to this story. Actually, I'm going to bring you the update from 9 News this morning on this because I think it's very interesting. Let me grab that for you. And we have new details here. All right. If it'll load. Let me head to ABC. Let's go to our friends at the ABC. I always feel like when I say that, we have to say, go buy your stuff at the ABC store and get your DVDs. All right, where's this video? No? Okay. I'm probably going to find my own video. No, okay. I don't know what happened to it. ABC did have a video out like 2 hours ago detailing more about him, but it's gone. So that's all right. I'm going to bring you the one from Channel 7 instead.
Out of Sydney, and a man is set to front court this morning charged with the murder of a teenage boy whose body was found yesterday in Sydney's south.
We cross live now to our reporter Lucy McLeod in Narellan. Lucy, this happened while the 15-year-old was on a camping trip with friends.
Good morning, guys. Yes, a 15-year-old was camping with friends in Wilton when somehow their weekend ended in tragedy. The boy's body discovered around this time yesterday morning. The entire area shut down by police as they launched their investigation. Forensics moving in, scouring the bushland for any evidence that could lead them to identify what happened to this child. Now, police only released their public appeal in the afternoon. An hour later, a 32-year-old man handed himself into Narellan Police Station here. He has now been charged with murder, guys, and police are alleging that he stabbed this 15-year-old boy to death. He will front court, Parramatta Court this morning, but an absolutely devastating weekend for this teenager's family.
Okay, Lucy, thank you.
The Princess of Wales is making a special appearance this morning, taking part.
We don't need the Princess of Wales. Jusk, that's what I'm going to call you, okay? Jusk 3, but it's probably Jusky, maybe. Can I just ask one more thing in relation to the Wilton topic? Why do reports say he likely wandered off at night and no one ever went looking for him or called for help? Drug deal got wrong or a setup? You know, I'm not sure. I can remember when I was that age, hanging around with a lot of boys. Sometimes disagreements happen. Sometimes, they just, how like sometimes when you hang out with a group of friends and then people start picking on the one person and then they have enough and just want to go. I don't know if that's what happened and that's why they never looked for him, because he was sort of, they're like, oh, he's gone home or whatever. I'm not sure, but it isn't. Yeah, I find it interesting that no one raised the alarm until a member of the public found his body in the morning. More needs to be looked into why that happened. Why, like, none of his friends were like, oh, young guy, he just never came back. Oh, that's all right. I mean, that's not what friends do, right? But we don't know. We don't know if he was directly connected to that camping, but if he was, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if you put a bunch of kids, well, not kids, let's just say teenagers, in a party environment. That's what they're doing. It's a Friday night. I remember I did all that stuff too. There's probably alcohol. There's probably definitely marijuana. 100%, like 1,000%. There's going to be some joints, and who knows? It could have been, like I said, it could have been anything, and that's what we need to find out. We need to find out how he got to that road and why that guy was there in the middle of the night. What was he doing there? Did he finish work? Was he driving to his property? And if so, why did he come across that chef guy? I like your theory though. I like your theory that maybe was he selling weed to teenagers in the area. I like that. I like that theory. I would have thought that younger people would have their own connections that were their age, but hey, who knows? Who knows in the social media age? I sound old. All these kids in the social media age, get off me lawn. Love you more. Hey, good to see you, my friend. Good to see you. Hey, let me just check out one more source for this, because I think it's really worth talking about. Let's head to charge. No, that's not the right one. Let's go past 24 hours. Not in. Why did my search automatically go 15-year-old stabbed in Melton? Apparently, Melton is the new place to get stabbed. All right, let's go to the Daily Telegraph. They say professional chef Jacob Greig, 32, charged with teen stabbing murder at campground in Wilton. They say the man is accused of stabbing the teen in Bushland in Sydney Southwest has been identified. Yep, we know what his name is. He handed himself into Narellan Police Station on Saturday and hours later was charged with murder. Here, they say a teenager who had allegedly been slashed, not stabbed, slashed, with a chef's knife by an older man, jumped onto the roof of his accused killer's car in a desperate bid to live before falling onto the road and crawling to a grass verge where he was left to die. That explains those photos. We saw the photos yesterday from the helicopter. Here, I'm going to upload them. We were talking about them on the show last night, and we were like, it looks like a traffic accident because I've seen these type of imprints in the concrete before for traffic incidents. Here, let me grab that photo. If my computer will work with us. So I took some of these because they started blurring them. About an hour after he was arrested, they started blurring these photos. And I saved them because I was like, wait, that might be interesting for us to look at later. They're not graphic or anything. They're just those road photos from yesterday. Here. So you can see this was all blood. It's blood. And if he was on the roof of that vehicle and then fell off, that would explain that. Because yesterday we were like, oh, it looks like he got hit by a car and went under the vehicle. But it sounds like now he was on the roof and then fell off, landed here, and then crawled off the side of the road, unfortunately, where he passed away. That is gruesome. It really is. Yeah, it is. I believe so. You can see the evidence marker there. There's also another evidence marker in the lower part of the screen that he was there, and then you can see the track where he took. Yeah, let's continue reading this for a minute. Let me pull that down. It is a little distressing. Yeah, let's all read the rest of this together. They're saying Jacob Greig, 32, and a female friend were driving along Wilton Park Road at Wilton, south of Sydney, on Friday night when they came across a 15-year-old boy standing on the side of the road, not too far from where he and a dozen friends were camping. The Daily Telegraph can reveal the incredible allegations of what occurred next after they were included in a statement of facts tendered when he faced court at Parramatta Local Court on Sunday. This is new. I hadn't seen this article come out, and I've been following it all day. They're saying the court documents outline how police allege the teen tried to get into the red Hyundai i30, grabbed at the door, causing the handle to fall off and the car to pull over, at which point Greig allegedly got out brandishing a torch and a large knife and began to walk towards the teen. He said, "Oi, you effing dog." And they said, "Where are your effing mates? F you, I'll effing kill ya, you effing dog." The teenager then allegedly tried to reason with Greig, telling him, "I love my girlfriend, bro, lad. We live in the same world." The older man allegedly shone the torch in the teen's face and told him to F off before walking away, but the young camper then walked back towards him, telling him he was trying to find a way to get home, which was the reason he and other friends had walked from their campsite to the road in the first place. Police allege that Greig turned back towards the teen and charged at him. "I'll effing get you good," he said, to which the teenager allegedly replied, "Lad, I love you." And he said, this is Greig again, "I'm going to chop your effing hand off," at which point the teen began to move away from the alleged knife-wielding man. Police allegedly see CCTV capturing his interaction with the teenager up until that point. But when the teenager began to move away from Greig, the pair went out of the view of the CCTV. Police allege, however, that what followed was Greig slashed at the teenage boy with the knife, cutting him on the inner right forearm. Oh my god! If you don't know forensics or medical stuff, if you get slashed on any like, there's a few different places on the human body. One is on the inner forearm. One is up under your armpit here, and another one is on the inside of your thigh, or anywhere between your thigh and like around your knee. If you get slashed there, the chances of you bleeding out, or around your neck, obviously, but if you get hit in any of these places deep enough, it's really serious. Like, unless you get to medical help, uh, very, very quickly, it's not good. It's really, really bad. They're saying the alleged then walked back to his car, the red Hyundai, where his female friend was still sitting as the teen bled profusely from the knife wound. As Greig and the woman began to drive off, court documents state the teen desperately ran after the car and jumped on top of the vehicle. If he jumped on top of the vehicle, his car must be covered in blood. It has to be. That if that kid was bleeding profusely from the wound, his car must look like a crime scene. And that explains those photos on the side of the road. Why is there so much blood? We were like, why is there so much everywhere? Now it makes sense. He had a very deep wound to his right forearm. Ah, wow. These allegations. They're saying, however, the woman allegedly continued driving, causing the teen to fall onto the road. She is not accused of any wrongdoing and has not been charged by police. She could be charged by police. She could be charged for not stopping and rendering aid. She must have known that kid was bleeding, and she didn't call for help either. Not all night. Not until her boyfriend handed himself in the next day. She didn't go home and go, you know what? We probably should call an ambulance for that kid. We're home safe. The least we can do to not get in trouble is call an ambulance and make sure he's okay. Like, we're not in danger anymore. We're at home. So, I expect maybe charges will be forthcoming. They say police allege it was not until the sun came up the next morning and the boy's friends realized that he was missing that they went in search for him before making the grim discovery of his body in a pool of blood on the road. Court documents state that in his final moments, the teen crawled away from the road to the grassed area, and that's where his body was found the following day. Police sources told the Daily Telegraph investigators operating under Strike Force Polder that they had no suspects until Greig and the woman arrived at Narellan Police Station at 3:30 p.m. on Saturday, very quick after that police conference. It's like half an hour after. The documents state the woman's parents walked inside and told police that she and Greig would like to speak to them. Police spoke to the man first, who voluntarily told them that during a trip to Malden Weir, where the teens were camping, he encountered the teenager who confronted him and ripped the rear passenger door handle off. Yeah, but buddy, you got to look at the way things are. You can't be like, hey, a kid damaged my car, so I killed him. Like, those things are not equal things to the act, right? Like, so someone punches you in the face, you're not going to get in trouble if you punch them in the face. It's equal force. But you slashed his arm to the point where he was bleeding profusely. You didn't radio for help, which is that's the adult thing to do. If you're in this situation, and he's the aggressor anyway, throughout the whole thing, he's the aggressive party. That kid even said, like, I love you, bro, like, calm down. I can't even find a defense for him. But I can say that an adult would have driven out of the area, called the police or ambulance, and got that kid some help, because that's what an adult would do. Like, that kid that died, he's 15. You're the adult in the situation, and that's why he got charged with murder. That, and along with stabbing him. According to the police fact sheet, Greig allegedly said that during the confrontation, his glasses were knocked off. Who gives a crap? I don't care if your nose got knocked off. You don't stab someone. They're saying, leaving him unable to see. Bro, I'd love to see you defend that in court. At which point, he allegedly said he slashed at the victim before getting back in his vehicle. Why'd you have a knife anyway? Do you need a knife to defend yourself against a 15-year-old? Are you that much of a P word that you can't stand up for yourself? Jeez. I am calling you a P word because that's exactly what you are. Police arrested Greig and later searched his home, during which they found what they allege is a murder weapon. They said he faced Parramatta local court on Sunday, represented by a solicitor, where he appeared via a video live stream and made no application for bail. Yeah, because your lawyer would have told you, you ain't getting bail on a murder charge. Not for this one anyway. 3 of Greig's family members attended court in person to support him. One relative of the accused killer said they had no comment to make about the incident. A spokesperson for Bargo Sports Club, where Greig worked as a professional chef, also said they had no comment to make as it is a police matter. So there you go. There are all the brand new details from court today, from just a few hours ago. There we go. We have a lot more answers to our questions now. A lot more. I hope that fills in some blanks for everyone. It does for me too. Yeah, that kid was, it sounds like the young man, sure, he did something wrong originally, but it sounds like he tried to de-escalate the situation a couple of times. Like saying, hey bro, we all live in the same world. I don't want any trouble. You know, that type of thing. Like, I love you, calm down. This guy, at least the way the police presented in their documents, you got to remember, this is just the prosecution's version of events from what they've been at. So the defense may have a different take on the situation. We have to wait and see. But from the prosecution side, they're saying, hey, this was, you know, a very aggressive act by someone who wasn't really under threat. And he did nothing to rectify the situation later either. So I hope everyone... Thoris, that is very nice of you. Thank you. Who got it? Who got the membership? Let me know. Oh, is C. Taylor got it? Oh, really? Yeah, Taylor's here. Sometimes they chat, sometimes they don't. They're very nice. Did our friends stay? Did our friend from the area hang around? I hope they're listening because we just gave them all the details that they were looking for. I hope they're still listening. That is a crazy, crazy story. Right, I agree. They could have just driven away and called the police. No reason to knife anyone. Exactly. Actually, I asked the question why he even got out of the car in the first place. Why did you need to have that confrontation with a teenager? You had a girlfriend in the car. Your job, well, your responsibility is to make sure you and her are okay. So you actually have a way of leaving the area, which is your vehicle. There is no way you can claim self-defense for this. You had an escape route and a weapon. That kid did not. There's no way you can claim this as self-defense. It'll never pass. You'll never get it through a court. You'll never, ever get that defense. The Thoris is that poor boy that died. Stabbing is very painful. I was stabbed in the leg in high school, hurt like hell. I can't... I've been cut on my arm. I have a scar here, a little one, not as deep as what this kid had, and it bled like crazy. I slipped on something and cut myself on metal, and it bled like for an hour, like it was mental. I can't imagine being slashed in the arm with a chef knife. That would... No wonder the scene is so traumatic and there's so much blood everywhere. And like originally, like I said, we thought that he got hit by a vehicle, which would make sense with the blood impressions on the concrete. And now we find out it's a knifing. I mean, it makes sense, but it's awful. Thank you, Danny. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Yeah, I hope they heard it because that was a good update and it answered a lot of their questions. I hope they're still listening out there. I hope they subscribe, hang around for more breaking news out of Australia and the USA. I'd appreciate it. By the way, just while we have a small break and let me catch my thoughts, everyone really liked the graffiti design that I did for the hoodies. So I have put in an order for one. Like we said, we're only doing one of each one, and I put it on a really cool color, so it'll really pop. If you want to go into the running to win one of those, all you have to do is support the channel. There you go. There's that design. So we've altered this. We've actually cut it out a little bit more, and it'll look really nice against the background. So you won't have as much of the brick wall. It's more of the words and the colors. It'll look really cool. All you have to do is support the channel. A super chat, donation, or what are the other ones? Whatever way you support the channel. You'll go into the running. We're going to draw that on December. In December, when we're in Tasmania, we're going to draw the winner for that. We got one. That's it. We got one of one. You get the very first one. It's a test. I haven't heard from Rebe. I'm really worried. I don't have a phone number for her, but I can send a carrier pigeon. I know where she lives. I can send a carrier pigeon. Or what about this? I could send a stripper telegram. Do you think she would appreciate that? I could do that. And then they could read a message like while they're taking off their clothes. They could be like, "Hey, Ping really wants to hear from you and he hopes you're okay. Here, look, I've got no top on and I'm wearing a lingerie bra." Do you think that will work? Thank you. I appreciate it. I only made it yesterday for a thumbnail, and then I put it up and everyone went mental over it. So it is now getting turned into a hoodie. Yes. These are just these are a test. These are just to see if it looks good, if they fit well, if the designs come up good, that type of thing. So that's why we're only giving away one, because it's just a test. If we make more later on, of course, we'll open it up to everyone. This is literally like the first step, but I've been asked so many times for a hoodie that I was like, well, we could give one away to the nice people who support the channel. That's why there's no monetary limit. There's not like if you donate $50, you're automatically going to get it. If you donate $5, you're not going to get it. I'm very equal rights to everyone. So all your names, each time you donate will go into the randomizer, and we'll do it live on the show. So there's no funny business. So each time you donate, you'll get an entry, and then we'll do it live on the air. So no funny business from anyone. Do they not have post offices in Australia? Well, I thought the stripper telegram would be way more fun. She's quirky. She's got a quirky sense of humor. They would make cool Christmas gifts. Hey, I'm glad. Did you hear that update? I hope you did. I hope that answers some of your questions. That is a great update from the daily. Who wrote this for the daily? Who wrote this so we can give them their props? Who wrote this? By the way, there's those photos. I have to be careful because the more I scroll up, it has my real name at the top, so I have to be very careful. Actually, I'm gonna change it to a different thing, and then I'll do that. Actually, let's change it to this one just for 1 second. Oh, it's Josh Hannaran, Rahan, Hanrahan, and Elida. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. And Amani. So I hope these. Actually, I'm going to put their names in the chat because I suck at pronouncing some people's names. I'm going to put these are the three authors of that paper. I feel like that's the only fair thing we can do sometimes when we're using their stories. These are the three authors of that particular article we read out. Yeah, good people. They did a great story. You don't just go to Malden Weir for a date night. Where is that? Should we have a look at where that is? Let's have a look. Malden Weir. It's a water place, right? Malden Weir. What is out there? Near Picton, yes. Malden Weir. We need some better We need some like better, what do you call this? Like satellite in this area. So there's Walden Picton Road. That looks like a pump station for the Weir. And there's the Weir. Why would you go out here? For what reason? Like the person in chat said, I don't know why you'd head out here. It looks industrial. Yeah, there's Boral Concrete. What's this place here? Farmland? That looks like irrigation. That looks like when they put the irrigator up on the arm and it goes like in a circle. That's what that looks like. I don't know why the hell you would head out here on a date night. You can have sex with your wife at home. We got sex at home, people. You don't need to go to the Weir. You don't need to head out there. Yeah, that's an odd excuse. It sounds like they may have been driving around just looking for trouble after work. It sounds like they may have just been jerks. They don't know that Erwin Ping is your name? That's right. That is my name. And you shall address me as such. Glitter says her parents have been fighting to have that ruling for Ellen overturned for 14 years. Are you talking about the girl who was found with all the stab wounds? And there's even one like in the back of her head, and they're like, there's no way you can do that to yourself. And they're like, it is 100%. She did it self-inflicted. And it's like, are you sure about that? You sure she did that on her own? How do you stab yourself in the back of the neck? Yeah, that's an awful story. Her parents deserve so much more support and justice. They have been screwed over so many times. There's no way that she did that to herself. There is no way. How could you do that? Like stab yourself like 20 times and then do the back of your neck right under your skull. I heard that it's almost impossible because your like brain won't let you. I read a paper about it that there's certain injuries that it's very hard to do to yourself because your brain won't allow you to complete the action because it knows it's putting you in jeopardy in a way. And certain things like you can do, like, I don't want to give any demonstrations, but we all know the classic ones, right? People have done them. But things like trying to do this and that, it's like almost impossible. Almost, but I'd be shocked. Yeah, you've been a great addition to the stream tonight. Thank you very much. I very much appreciate your knowledge from the area. It's helped out. I do appreciate it. Yeah, there's a lot of funny things in that particular case. Her parents deserve so much more help. It does. Yeah, so super chats or the memberships or whatever, the PayPals and that, all of them, all the same. I treat everyone the same. I'm not one of these stupid creators who's like, oh, if you don't donate $35, I can't send you this crappy thing that I made out of Play-Doh. Sorry, I had to be non-specific, otherwise people get upset. I have a lot more I could say about the sports club, but I don't want to get in trouble. Were you willing to talk privately? If you want to talk privately, my email, I'll put it in the chat. We can talk. I never tell anything that people tell me in email. My chat will tell you that. I've never burnt someone that's told me anything private ever, except for Trish. One time she showed me a Halloween thing she had for her live show, and I completely told everyone like a week before Halloween. That's a one time though, but that was, that's Halloween. That's different. Hold on. That's my email. Hit me up and we'll have a chat after the show. I'd like to know more. You might not be able to trust Erwin, but you can trust Ping. Yeah, I talked to a lot of different people, judges, media people from police stations, all the time. I never have given away a source for anything. In between Wilton and Picton. I'll have a look. You're all very kind. I would like to see more justice for this kid, though. His family's going to need so much support. I find it very interesting. Did they say down at the bottom of this article that the accused had 3 people in court? Okay, sure. He needs support too, even though his actions brought him to court, but sure. But where did any of the kids' parents go to the court in Parramatta? I think this tells you everything you need to know. Like, his language was hyper aggressive for something that should have just been a sort of like an. Even if he pulled up and that kid damaged the car and he just went, F you, and then drove off, like, we could all understand that. But hopping out with a knife doesn't make any sense. And then threatening him, even when the kid backed down. The kid backed down several times, according to the prosecution. The kid backed down a few times, and I don't understand why he kept engaging after that. He should have just gone, oh, okay, I scared the kid off. I'm going to hop into the car and I'm going to drive away. There was no need to hit him. There was no need to slash him with a knife. Nothing. It's nice in the day, there's no during the night, there's no point. Yeah, I don't know why you'd head there in the middle of the night. I agree with you. Thank you, the Thoros. I appreciate it. Leisha says, on my way to the grocery store. I need an iced tea, Leisha. I need an iced tea. It's very hot here in Melbourne, Australia, on this Sunday afternoon. So if you could pick me up an Arizona iced tea, I would appreciate it. I don't have one here. Hold on, guys. Give me 1 sec. Give me 1 sec. I just need to grab a drink. My throat's getting a little dry. Hold on. All right, there we go. The halftime music is working now when we pause the show. Rachel said there's a popular swimming spot out there, out near the weir. Far from popular. Let's have a look. I'll have a look quickly. There's a popular swimming spot out there. All right. Are we still on this page? What page are we on? That one. All right, let's have a look. Well, this area is based on the Nepean River. And I lived actually out in this region. I grew up. Actually, some things you don't know about Ping. I didn't grow up this far west, but I grew up quite, not this far southwest, sorry. I grew up a little more towards the Blue Mountains, but the Nepean River runs all through this region, and it's one of the life sources of the West. The Nepeans everywhere. And when I used to live out in Penrith and like the Blue Mountains area, it's based on the Nepean River. So they also have the Nepean running through near Malden as well. So yeah, a little bit of a connection there. Here, there you go. You guys can see the Nepean River running through, and it runs through the weir here. So, and then you got Boral Concrete right there. Is that where you would take a date for a date night? Love, let's hop into the Commodore and let's go to the Boral Concrete plant. It's very romantic. Let's head out there. I don't think so. I think they've got a lot more explaining to do to their defense on this. Who owns most of the pubs in Australia? That is very true. Yeah, it should be ALH Group, right? There's also that guy in Sydney. I can't remember what his name is. What's his name? What's his name? Justin or something? Is that the same guy? There's two, right? Yeah, Justin Hermes or whatever his name is. Hermes or Hermes. He owns one giant, the other part of it. And then the other one is there's ALH, but there's also PHG as well. PHG is owned by John Agdemes. Is that how you pronounce his name? I know him, but Justin Hemers owns like most of everything. Yeah, there's a few, but there's also Arthur Laundry owns a bunch. There's a few different owners, but the story he's telling doesn't make sense at all. No, I agree. I think there's something missing, and it's a shame that the CCTV that they do have of the altercation doesn't show the moment of the crime. It only shows the previous moments, but at least they have that. Could you imagine this case if, one, they never handed themselves in, although I believe they would have been tracked down, possibly from the car part, but it would have taken a lot more time. Two, if they didn't have that CCTV, it's the middle of the night in the middle of nowhere on a dark road. They may never have found that guy. So he gets some brownie points for handing himself in, but something tells me that he felt like the net was tightening and he would be better off handing himself in than trying to run from it. Yeah, I understand. I thanks. I just saw what you sent. Thank you. I won't say anything else, but yes. Um I grew up in small towns too, so I understand what it's like where you live in a small town. It feels like everyone knows your business, and it feels like you know everyone. Like you can't go to the local IGA or Woolworths or Coles or the pub or the cinema without running into like 3 or 4 people that you know. So anything that happens, like everyone seems to know. And yeah, I've had that myself. I lived in a couple of very small towns where I could never do it again. It's very hard because it really is like everyone knows everything. It's like if you break up with your wife, they know. If you sleep with the girl down the road, they know. If you lose all your money in a bad Ponzi scheme, everyone knows. If you crash your car, everyone will know about it. So, Sean said it's a beautiful area. I mean, a lot of New South Wales in the southern areas is beautiful. It's we're very lucky to have that much natural space so close to our city areas. As when you look at some other countries and cities around the world, they live in concrete jungles, and we are very lucky. Rachel says, I understand small town living too, just in the USA. Yeah, I think people can relate. In the Kangaroo Valley? Yeah. All right. I want to do the story that we did last night. I was supposed to do it last night. I put it in the title and then I just completely forgot about it because that's how awesome I am. I write things and then don't remember them. So let me grab that story from yesterday because it's one we should do. Let me just grab this one. Yeah, Melody Rivera. This is a stunning story. Really, really brutal, and it's something we should talk about. So let me load this up.
Tonight, a Philadelphia family is heartbroken and asking for the community's help. Police say Melody Rivera was reported missing on November 1st. Sadly, the 29-year-old's body was found 2 days ago in Fox Chase. This is the news at 10 on Fox Local. I'm Dawn Timoney. Police are searching for her former boyfriend, who they are calling a person of interest. Our Jennifer Lee is live tonight. And Jen, you spoke with Melody's family, and I know they must be so distraught.
They truly are. The family says ever since Melody Rivera disappeared on Halloween night, they kept searching for her, hoping she would be found alive. And now 2 days after her body was discovered in a wooded area, they're asking the question, why?
We went every single day, hours at a time, looking for my sister.
This family's worst fear came true on Thursday when Philadelphia police found Melody Rivera's body buried in a shallow grave in Fox Chase in the 900 block of Tustin Avenue.
She didn't deserve to be buried in a park. She didn't deserve.
On Saturday, Rivera's sister and mother described the 29-year-old as kind, funny, and loving, especially with her 11-year-old daughter.
That was my baby. That was my baby. I loved everything about her.
The family reported Rivera missing in the early morning hours of November 1st and believe she was with her former boyfriend, Giovanni Otero. Detectives say he's a person of interest in the case, and a warrant was issued after he violated his parole.
It's an ongoing investigation. However, we still would like to talk to her boyfriend, Giovanni Otero, who's also wanted by the state for parole violations, but we would like to speak to him as part of this investigation.
Philadelphia police are asking for the community's help in locating Otero. Rivera's family is convinced he's the reason she's no longer here.
On my soul, I won't stop until justice for my sister is served.
Let me pause it there for a second. I agree. I agree with this. We got to find that guy. What a horrible situation for that family. It's those stories where people don't come back from like Halloween, or they go out to an event and they just don't make it home. They're so difficult to deal with for even me listening. I can't imagine being the family. They need to find this guy and they need to bring him to justice to answer for his crimes or alleged crimes. Let's play the rest of the video. 17 seconds left, and we'll get you some more details.
You're going to be found. Wherever you are, they're going to find you.
The family is also planning a candlelight vigil and balloon release tomorrow afternoon, 3 p.m. in the Fox Chase neighborhood. Dawn?
All right. Thank you, Jennifer. So very.
There you go. Yeah, she had a little girl, and she will be without her mother. They're saying here the body of a woman who went missing on Halloween was found in Philadelphia's Fox Chase neighborhood Thursday night, and they're saying they have now identified her as a victim, and her name is Melody Rivera, 29. Her ID was only done on Friday. She leaves behind an 11-year-old daughter, and I can't imagine, like, the family went out there. They're saying, we went out every single day, hours and hours at a time, looking for my sister. She didn't deserve to be buried in a park. She didn't deserve that. Police were made aware that she was missing and last seen on Halloween at 7 p.m. in the 900 block of Sanger Street. On Thursday, police sources told Fox 29 that the victim's body was found buried in a shallow grave near Veary Road along Tustin Avenue. After the victim was reported missing, police began investigating. Sources say they looked into the alleged boyfriend of the victim, identified as Giovanni Otero, 29. He has a criminal history involving a gun case currently. Otero was on parole for that case and has a GPS tracking ankle monitor, which sources say helped detectives narrow him down as a person of interest. Based on the GPS tracker and more developing evidence, sources say police believe Otero killed the woman and brought her a few miles away to the scene in Fox Chase and buried her body. Police are asking for the public's help in locating Otero, who they called a person of interest in the case. It's an ongoing investigation. However, we would like to talk to her boyfriend, Giovanni, who is also wanted by the state for parole violations, and we would like to speak to him as part of this investigation. Police are urging anyone with information regarding Otero's whereabouts to contact homicide detectives at 215-686-3334. Tips can be submitted anonymously by calling or texting 215-686-TIPS. And they saying here, on my soul, I won't stop until justice for my sister is served. You're going to be found wherever you are. They are going to find you. I want to know more about the GPS ankle monitor. Did he remove it? Because how come they can't just track his ankle monitor? Like, they didn't say anything here about it being removed. So why can't they just track him on that and find him? And if that is the case, why did it take so long to find her body if they knew that it was the boyfriend and he had a GPS thing where they could track him? So they could have checked all these locations. I know it's a lot of police work. It's a ton of police work. You need manpower. You need like 50 people, even just to track one person. You probably need a whole team of people. But I hope he still has it, so we can track him quicker. Yes, we have Facebook now. You can find us on Facebook, Nights with Ping. In case you don't have Twitter, although we have Twitter too at Nights with Ping. But here, I'll post it in the chat for people who don't know. I post a lot of updates on here that happen after hours, in between shows. So you'll get a lot of updates to stories we're following. One sec. All right, there we go. You guys don't need to hear me cough into the microphone like people sniffling into the microphone. I heard someone was sniffling into their microphone the other night, and it was driving their chat mad. I'm not going to say who that was. I'm just saying I heard from someone who said that their chat was yelling at them, saying that they needed some Codral, cold and flu, because they were sniffling. Yeah, there we go. I'm sorry I'm sorry I didn't bring that to you last night. I don't know why that slipped our mind. I think we got onto the breaking story out of New South Wales with the 15-year-old, and we got a little sidetracked. So I'm sorry about that. Melody's case is just as important and deserves the airtime as well. Is this a photo of the scene? Investigating. Yeah, let's have a look. Is this it? Oh, they just put a photo? That was interesting. I thought they were going to show us a video of where they found her. Hold on. Let me play this.
Night of Philadelphia.
Yeah, I'm not going to play the volume. I just want to skip through it. Oh, no. It's the same one. Sorry, I thought they had a little thumbnail here of detectives in a wooded area. And I was like, oh, that's might be interesting to have a look at. But it is not. All right. Let me load this next story for all of us. Yeah, I was hoping that might have been showing us where they found her. Where is that? Here. Oh, they did. So if we go to okay, I see. All right. So apparently they did locate her body in that wooded area. Here's a screenshot of them carrying her out. You can see just how many police officers are there in in middle of the night, making sure that they secure her and get her home to her family. That's a hell of a job. They work so hard. Yeah, I think I've got another one too. You can see, you know, you can see how far back they are. It's not a great screenshot, but you can see they're all about what I don't know how long that is in American measurements, but they're quite far back in that wooded area, and you can see when they were carrying her out, just how like densely wooded it is. You don't remember this one? Well, now you do. Well, she went missing on Halloween. Rivera said, "Hey, Natasha, how are you, my sweet friend?" Hey, retired RN. Retired RN says, "How dumb can you be to unalive someone wearing an ankle monitor?" Wasn't there a case last year of a guy wearing an ankle monitor who went and shot someone? There was, right? He went. He was wearing an ankle monitor, and a woman's body was found in. No, he didn't shoot her. Her body was found in a car, and he was wearing an ankle monitor, and they were able to figure it out because he was wearing an ankle monitor. Do you guys remember that one? I think we had it on this channel. I think it was about a year ago. So no, they do it. It happens. April B says, "I don't know how police and first responders do it. Very hard jobs." I have no idea. I don't know. I really don't. I don't know how they have the mental fortitude to go to crime scenes, they must have to view it in a different way than we do. They must view it in like a scientific or like they must be able to compartmentalize it into something else because I don't know how they do it. Do. So you do what you do and you don't do what you do. Okay. Hey, Nick, how are you? The dad was with police when they found them. That's very sad. Yeah, it was his ex-girlfriend. We know this. Hold on 1 second. Yeah, that's awful. You can see just how many people turned up for her. You see all the different police. It looks like something out of a movie. I just want to look up that one from last year because I want to give people a reference that this does happen quite frequently. It was a woman. Was it this one? Hold on. No, I don't think that's it. No. Was it Lauren Johansson? Found in the trunk of a car in Mississippi. Yes. Okay, I found it. Yes. Ping found it. It was this one. It was this one. How Mississippi man's release from Nashville jail ended in Lauren Johansson's death. Someone in the office made a mistake. They're saying here a Mississippi father is blaming Nashville's justice system for his daughter's death earlier this month. When was this actually? Oh, it was only in July? Jeez, okay. They're saying Johansson's body was found in the trunk of a car in Gulfport, Mississippi on July 3rd. Police arrested Rivers around 11 p.m. that same day after a 9-hour manhunt involving 55 officers from 8 different agencies. They're saying her father, Robert, believes his daughter's death could have been prevented if not for several legal missteps in Nashville. A little more than a week before his Mississippi arrest, Rivers was released on bond from a Nashville jail where he had been held since December awaiting trial on 4 charges, including 2 counts of a especially aggravated kidnapping related to what police describe as a bloody attack on Lauren Johansson while the two were vacationing in Music City. Records show that several instructions outlined in a court order detailing the conditions of his release were not followed, which Robert, her father, says allowed him to leave Nashville, travel to Mississippi, and kill his daughter. They're saying here the Davidson County Chief Deputy Criminal Clerk, Julius Sloss, acknowledged this week that his office made a mistake when it came to sharing information with the Davidson County Sheriff's Office on how he should be released. Rivers' bonding company said it too didn't know the full conditions of his release because the clerk did not provide them. The clerk, however, said it is the full responsibility of the bonding company to know the conditions and understand what's being signed for beforehand. This sounds like pass the buck. They're like, oh, it was the bonding company. And the other one's like, oh, it was the legal clerk. And they're like, nah, it was them. We didn't know. And then they said, well, they should have known. Like, what? No one wants to take responsibility. They're saying because of the communication breakdown, Rivers was released from jail on his own instead of in the custody of a bonding agent as ordered. On June 24th, and the release occurred later than the court ordered. When he was picked up by a bonding agent that same day, Rivers was taken to the wrong GPS monitoring company, one that was created just 7 days earlier, and that monitoring company was unaware that Rivers was not supposed to travel outside of Davidson County until several days later, when it says it received the court order with bond conditions for the first time. By then, Rivers had left Tennessee and headed for Mississippi. He returned to Nashville on June 29th because of an issue with his ankle monitor after allegedly violating his bond conditions for days, but he didn't stay long. by July 2nd, the day he was supposed to show up in a courtroom, the battery on his ankle monitor had started to die. Last tracking him in Biloxi, Mississippi, the tracking company and bond agents tried to contact him, but no one could get in touch. And then, yeah, he went and killed this woman. It's awful. I don't want to read the whole thing because it's like 500, pages long. But what I can show you. So his name was Bryson John Rivers. That was his full name. But let's find Bryson John Rivers. There we go. He was from Mississippi. Let's show you this. They ended up finding her body in a cemetery.
Welcome to the 4 o'clock show. Thanks for joining us. I'm Dave Elliott.
And I'm Karen Abernathy. We now know whose body was found in that vehicle at Wolf River Cemetery on Cemetery Road in Harrison County.
Coroner Brian Switzer saying the victim is 22-year-old Lauren Johansson from Gulfport.
Behind bars now, charged with her murder, 23-year-old Bryson John Rivers from Harrison County.
Rivers was arrested late last night after a 6-hour manhunt. Sheriff Matt Haley says it all began when deputies went to Wolf River Cemetery over a welfare concern. Deputies say they spotted Rivers running from a vehicle towards the woods. They found Johansson's body in that vehicle.
Rivers is being held in Harrison County Jail on a $1 million bond. Coming up on WLOX News at 6, we'll hear from Johansson's father.
So that particular case gives me some hope that if they were able to do it in this particular case and track this guy down after he murdered his ex-girlfriend, they should be able to do it for this one, where the lady went missing on Halloween. I reckon they'll be able to do this something similar. So hopefully they can track him down too. Nick says, the one thing I've learned through true crime in general, just my life, women's lives are cheap. I can't not agree with you. I think that is the way the world treats it, which is very sad, being that women are life givers on this planet. They have the babies, even though men help with that, but only in the first bit. And yet we seem to treat women with such disdain that we treat them like objects and consumables instead of treating them like humans. And I find that very distressing because, if you've ever watched this channel for a long time, we do a lot of stories on women to bring awareness about it. That's why I do a lot of them and try and focus on it. I do a lot on sex workers too, because they're so marginalized in when crimes happen against them, that I like to focus on that, because it should be treating them like they are just people. It doesn't matter what they do for a job. A crime has still occurred against them, and they deserve the same justice as if it was the white lady who lives in bloody Vermont in a $2.2 million house that was murdered on Christmas Eve or something. Like, they deserve the same justice. They live under the same legal system and the same rules as all of us. So I hate when I see that happen. It's awful. Nick says, you would have think it's got better since the 1970s. I think it has gotten better in some ways, but in some ways it's actually got worse. I think abuse of women has actually gone up. I think while everyone likes to say we're all aware of DV, but the DV numbers have gone up. They've gone way up. And that women being abused is actually, it's an epidemic. The Thorus says, good night, everyone. Need to sleep. Thank you so much for dropping in tonight, my friend. It is so nice to see you. And I hope everything is getting a little bit better. You'll have to let me know if you're going to do something really nice for Mickey in the anniversary coming up early next year. You'll have to let me know. Yeah, have a good sleep, the Thorus. Thank you for your support of the channel. I really appreciate it. For the $20 and the nice message, and gifting a membership to someone. That was extremely kind. I don't think we have enough people in the chat to give away any memberships tonight. We need at least 5 people, and I don't think we have it. I don't think we have it, unfortunately. But maybe tomorrow night we can give away some memberships. That'd be cool. I love that we get to give away 10 every month. That's such a great feature. If you're a YouTube partner program, you get 10 free to give away every month. The Thoris says, thank you very much. Thank you. I very much appreciate it. All right. There we go. There's your Melody Rivera update. And let's hope they find him. I should show you a photo of him, right? Ping, you have to show them who they're looking for. There we go. There's a photo of her, unfortunately now deceased. There's a photo of him. That's who you're looking for. So if you're in the area, you see him, please call it in. Call it into those numbers that I spoke out earlier. And let's get him back into jail. Hey, Blue Moon. Good to see you, my friend. Nick says, I remember those, yeah, the jokes about what we now recognize as DV. Well, yeah, like they used to do, like, what were those shows on TV in the black and white era? And like he would like, oh, don't make me punch you, Lucy, or whatever. And he'd like threaten to like beat her face in like every night or whatever. Yeah, I remember that. All right. Let's see what else we have. By the way, tomorrow, 49ers football. Christian McCaffrey is back. Christian McCaffrey, after not playing for the first half of the season in the NFL, is back. The Niners, I expect, to start going into overdrive, and they should absolutely demolish the Tampa Bay Buccaneers tomorrow. They will look like their old Super Bowl winning team. I'm almost sure of it. All right, let's head to Florida. By the way, I love watching our friend from Polk County. I love watching Sheriff Grady. He had one out the other day. They had a operation called, what was it called? Like Skin So Soft. Operation Skin So Soft, and it was a raid on massage parlors, and it was they went into the massage parlors, and the stories he was telling, he was saying that his undercover operatives, like they were like just massage, nothing else, no extras, no happy endings, no anything else. And the girls were like taking off their underwear and being like, yeah, we go now. Like, you get it up, we go, here's a condom, we're good. And they're like, no, just massage. And they're like, what, you don't want the vagina? No? Yes? No? Like they were really forceful. Like there was almost like the way he was describing it was almost like male R word. Like they were really forceful. Like every guy that walks in there wants to bang them. Like that's just how it is. Like that's their mindset. Like every guy that walks in here wants to get the full package apparently. And the operatives had to like push these women off them. They were hopping on them like, let's go. It's good to go. And these operatives are like, no, just massage. So they arrested all these women out of Florida the other day. Kim's like, I popped in the chat at a good time. Yeah, you hopped in when we started going off the rails and talking about sex work. But yeah, that was an interesting one. So I don't know if any of you saw that press conference from Sheriff Grady, but that was an interesting one. Is it? Is that what it is? I don't know, but he was talking about it. Here, I'll show you a little bit of it. I can't tease you, tell you about it, and then be like, nah, let's not watch it. Yeah, Polk Sheriff. Let's talk to Grady. Where is it? Skin So Soft. Where is it? Operation Skin So Soft. Yeah, here it is. That's why. So this is from. I have to be, for legal reasons, I have to tell you this is from Polk County Sheriff Grady Judd. Great guy. This is from there. If you want to head to their YouTube channel and watch any of their other videos, you can find it at this link that I'm going to put up. And I have to put up a banner saying that it is from Polk Sheriff on YouTube.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for being with me today. And this is our new look. So you'll see a improved way that we are able to communicate with you so that you can communicate with the public. We're going to talk about Operation Skin So Soft. And we decided on that title because as we were auditing massage parlors, which we normally do for compliance with the law to make sure this sort of thing doesn't have, one of these ladies said, "Oh, your skin's so soft, you must work inside." Well, sometimes we work in massage parlors. But that's what we were doing on this particular occasion. In fact, we audited 22 massage parlors and found 12 of them were not in compliance with the law. Not only were they not in compliance with the law, but they were doing additional things that were illegal, such as prostitution. So we had 21 arrests. There's some interesting facts about this. All 21 of these ladies are not only Asian, but they're from the Republic of China, a communist country. 3 of them are citizens at this time. The rest of them are here on legal work visas. I don't think the federal government had in mind this kind of work when they get.
By the way, he also talks about some anti-immigration or anti-illegal immigration rhetoric in this at some point. And he was talking about a few things later on, but you'll see it. But yes, Operation Skin So Soft. Listen to this.
Gave them a work visa, but they're here anyway. We also found it interesting that when we looked at their addresses, one's from Lakeland, but many of them move around the country. So they're sitting here for a while. One lady said she came from a small town in Oklahoma. One's from New York City. But all of them are from China. It makes you wonder. The oldest is 64 years of age that we arrested. The youngest was 31 years of age. 8 of them claim to have been married. All of these Asian ladies or Chinese ladies, by their own admission, were at Asian massage parlors. And we have to show you some of the more bizarre events. I'll start out with the most bizarre. And as I pronounce their names, understand I'm born and raised in Polk County, Florida, and these names are from the Republic of China, okay? So I'm just saying. So we don't know if her name is Hung or Gents Hung or whatever, but this is who she is. We'll give you the appropriate spelling and you give it your best shot.
I feel like Grady Judd might be my spirit animal as being a public speaker because he understands me. He understands my pronunciation of weird names and town names. He's like, I'll give you the spelling of it and you have your best shot. That's what Ping does. I'm like, I can't pronounce it, but I'll show you how it's spelled and you guys can do it at home. All right, let's keep going.
She's 60 years of age. I'm sorry, she's 37 years of age. She charged $60 for a massage. Now, this was supposed to be a legitimate massage. My undercover agents asked only for a regular legal massage. But she started upcharging and inappropriately handling, in fact, tried to have full sex with this undercover detective to the point that he had to push her off and start to get up to leave. She was extremely aggressive, at which point she grabbed him, tried to get him to sit back down. She stood in front of the door so he couldn't leave. And then she tried to hold him down. Now, understand, they said this was really interesting because this is a big man, undercover detective, and they said, might have been 5 foot tall. She wasn't as big as a popcorn fart. And she was trying to hold this man down. So anyway, she obviously not only got arrested for prostitution, but a litany of other charges that include.
She really wanted that upcharge. She really wanted that, extra $50. She was like, we're going to have sex whether you like it or not, apparently. And she tried to, yeah, he did say popcorn fart. Yeah. You hear it. She tried to pin him down. She tried to stand in front of the door so he couldn't leave. If a guy did this to a female, it would be R-word charges or SA charges. I guarantee you. I guarantee you it would be 100%. Like, if you imagine a guy did that, he blocked the door and then tried to hold her down and force his pineapple into her. Like, this is what she was doing. She was like, "Hey, the V is good to go. Here's a condom. Let's do this." And he's like, "No, just massage." So if that was the role reversed here, that would definitely be a registered on a sex offender thing for life. It's very interesting that just because they're a massage people that it's okay. Well, it's not. They got charged, but you know what I mean.
Included battery. Then there's Yan Lu. She's from Winter Garden. I neglected to say that Mrs. Hong here was from East Valley, California. So here's one from California. Yan Lu is 64 years of age. She was from Winter Garden. She was paid $60 for 45 minutes of sex. She left the room and she came back with a condom. Now, this was not in a commercial package, but it was wrapped up in like paper, maybe used. Okay.
What? So apparently she got booked for 45 minutes of sex. I don't want any sex from her. I'm good. But apparently brought in a condom wrapped in paper, not in a little package, and he said it may have been reused. Who reuses condoms? What the hell? They're cheap. Why the frig are you reusing them? What, you want to get that extra $2 on every service? Like, oh. What do? Put them in the dishwasher? How does that work? You're like, they're good. I used Downy. They are super soft. It is super soft and it smells great. Downy always makes it smell better. That's why we always wash our used condoms with Downy.
And tried to have sex with the undercover. And the undercover she upcharged $290 for a total of $350. She was very, very aggressive. He said, I didn't say one word about illegal massages, happy endings, nothing. And she was aggressive to the point that she actually tried to have sex with him.
I ain't paying $300 for that vagina. I'm good. I ain't doing it. I'm good. I don't need it. Especially not with a reused condom. Even so, I ain't doing it. I'm good. I don't want it.
She got arrested, as you can imagine, for a litany of charges. Then there's Rufin Wren. She was also 64, but she goes by the alias of Susan. She's from Flushing, New York. She wanted $80 for a 1-hour massage. 30 minutes into the massage, all of a sudden she comes out with this exotic oil and starts massaging the undercover with oil. She turns the lights down, and then she started massaging him in areas that constitutes illegal conduct. She was arrested. But during this time, the undercover would say, no, just a massage, just a massage. So on 3 different occasions, she continued to try to come back and upcharge him to engage in sex. So that got her arrested as well. Then there's Jin Fing Mu. She's 59. She's from Lakeland. She's a U.S. citizen. It was to be a 1-hour massage for $70. She made the statement to the undercover that she travels between New York and Florida. So apparently all of these ladies are on a circuit. They don't stay here for any lengthy period of time. And she then wanted to add $20 for a happy ending for the massage. What's interesting about Jin Fen Mu is that in 2023, December 2023, less than a year ago, she was arrested here by us for the same exact thing in another audit.
She looks angry even in the mugshot. I don't want my pineapple anywhere near her. What would she do with it? She might chop it off. I'm scared. I would not be like, yes, happy ending, please. I'd be worried that she might take it home with her as a trophy. She might do that. Who knows? She looks angry even in the mugshot. Is that her sex face? Because if it is, I'm not buying. I'm good. Again, I don't want any. I mean, is that her like I'm trying to seduce you face? Because it's not working.
So these investigations are still underway, and the message is clear that if you do illegal conduct in what is otherwise a legal business, you will be arrested. And I caution customers of going to these kinds of establishments, okay? Now listen, I'm cautioning customers that go to these kinds of establishments. No, we're not going to do one of these craft operations, but maybe somebody's videotaping you. Maybe somebody's giving you the opportunity to violate the law. I don't want you to get in trouble. So if something happens later on, I can always say, duh, I tried to warn you. Stay out of these places. And for those that have the proclivity to illegally operate in what's otherwise a legal massage business, you too will go to jail, because we continuously audit these to make sure that they are complying with the law. Now,
So I've actually done a ton of sex worker type stories. I've done more than 100 now, and I can tell you for a fact that whether you go to the massage parlor, whether you go to an in call at a girl in a hotel room or something like that, they are videotaping you. They are always recording. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. The girls who do in calls, they're always recording. There have been videos that have leaked from girls who work at hotels and that use like a Ring doorbell or whatever to record. They have leaked those videos in the past against Johns that they've been unhappy with their payment or whatever. It has happened before. These places being a more commercial operation, I guarantee you that there's cameras. Even in the massage room where you're whatever you're doing to get your $290 worth, they are filming you. That's what he's trying to warn you against. He's trying to warn you that they will not help you if you find yourself on the cover of China's best white guys having sex with Asian girls website. They probably won't help you because, again, he says, duh, and you should have known. And you might even get arrested because you purchased it.
Now, the overwhelming majority of the massage parlors that we audit follow the law. And there's new additional regulations that just came into being, where you have to keep a record of who you do a massage for, information on your customers, and information on who does the massage. We're going back and filing those regulatory charges after the undercover investigation because we found they did not comply with any of the laws. So, a word to the wise. If you don't want to get arrested and have your picture up here on a skin so soft bulletin board, don't do it. And this is the ladies that's doing it because it was an undercover operation with our detectives. Next time, it can be the customers. Any questions?
Sheriff, you used phrases
All right, I'm going to stop there because we can't hear the questions because the reporters apparently can't afford microphones or something. Yeah, there you go. Operation Skin So Soft. And yeah, you heard some of the stories. A lot of aggressive ladies definitely wanting to get their upcharge. Yeah, I heard a few people saying that they may be being forced to make a certain amount per night or per day or whatever, per shift, possibly. And a lot of these women have to give a percentage to the company. So a lot of these ladies only take home like 30%, 40% of whatever they make. 60% goes to the proprietor. So that's pretty normal in a lot of sex work, especially if you work in a like for a company, a madam, a brothel, that type of thing. They all take around 50 to 60% of the overall money. That's pretty normal. So I would suggest that's why they're trying to upcharge so much. One of the most disturbing things I've heard is probably not the used condom thing. It's more the fact that a lot of these women are actually servicing men without them. So you can imagine if you're the 8th customer for the day that wants to do it without the prophylactic or whatever. There you go. It's like a whirlpool of jungle juice, pineapple juice. There you go. There's the code word. It's the tropical punch that you really don't want. Kaliza. They say one of the reasons the massage parlor workers keep moving around is because they're being trafficked. It's also to avoid the heat. He does say at the end of the press conference that all these women said that they go from New York to Florida to California, Colorado, other states when they start doing raids on the property to get to a cooler environment. He didn't say that all these women are trafficked. He said that it's possible that some are, but he said some of them are free people that this is their job. This is what they do. They're earning money to send back to China, so like for their families or whatever. Yes, raw dogging. That is the word we will use. Yes, apparently a lot of these men, and there's forums out there for this particular pastime where men rate these different establishments, and they'll often say, "Oh yeah, these women they'll do it with no, you know, C word," and yeah, it's quite a common request. So if you partake in this pastime, and look, there's probably a lot better places if you really want to do this. If this is something that you feel like is a necessity, which for some people it is because they are unable to meet a young lady or something like that, I get it. There's probably better places for your money where you're going to get a girl who's probably one, a lot cleaner, and two, is probably a lot more professional, and it'll probably give you a better time for your cash rather than going to the local massage parlor and hoping that your pineapple doesn't fall off in 2 weeks from whatever STD you get. Gaylor says in Holland you are all above board and you need to have your medical test to work. Yeah, I saw a documentary on the girls in Holland. Apparently they hate the new system because apparently they don't make nearly as much money because apparently they're counted as workers now. Like there's some new change in their law in the last 10 years where they're actually considered like a 9 to 5 worker, and they can only work so many hours in a 24-hour period. It was to protect women that were being trafficked, but apparently a lot of the girls who do it on their own, like of their own free will, say that their limited hours per day that they can work is actually affecting their paycheck up to 40%. That, and apparently the red light district in Holland is being deprioritized. Like back in the 80s and 90s and up to about the mid 2000s, the red light district in Holland was actually a huge money spinner. That's why like everyone who went to Holland wanted to go to the red light district, get a joint, go see the girls, have a boys' weekend, that type of thing. But in the last 10, 15 years after the conservative Christian government came into Holland, they sort of unwound a lot of the financial incentive for the girls. So apparently a lot of the girls who work there now, their pay packets have dropped something like 70% in 10 years. And it's nowhere near as lucrative as it used to be in the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s. So, yeah, there you go. Nick says, same in Germany, sex workers pay tax, are health insured and everything. Yeah, it is good. I'm just saying that they find that their pay packets are a lot worse off than they used to be. Gayla says, half my family lived there, and when I lived in Germany, we went to Holland every few weeks. Are you saying that you had fun in the red light district? Or did you just go to the brownie cafes? I'm watching you. All right. So I hope you enjoyed that. I love watching our friend Grady Judd. He is a legend. I know, look, I know a lot of locals don't like him. A lot of local people who live in Florida do not like Grady Judd. They think he's a terrible sheriff. They think he doesn't do his job properly, and that he's more interested in making headlines and making YouTube videos than just doing his job. So I get it. There are a lot of people who don't like him, but I like him as a content creator, as someone interested in true crime. I find he makes our lives very interesting, but I understand that the people who live there may not feel the same. So Sean says, I smoked in Amsterdam, but none of the other stuff. Fair enough. Hold on. My chair is being annoying for some reason. Yeah, there we go. What time is it? 5:30. What time did we jump on? Been on almost 2 hours. So we're gonna start wrapping up in about 10 minutes. But I hope it was a fun show. On these weekend late shows, I like to do something a little bit different and just not as like cut and dry as we do during the week. So I hope you all had fun. By the way, I want to thank, I don't know who to attribute this to. Hold on. I don't know who to attribute that to, unfortunately, but I will say this. SR. If your name starts with an S and it ends with an R, if your last name is an R and your first name is an S, thank you very much for your donation. I really appreciate it. Let me know in chat like what your chat name is so I can use that. If you do send in a donation, you don't have to leave a message, but if you could just leave the chat name, that would really help. It helps me, especially when we do the draw later on. It'll help me track people. Love you more. It's you. Oh, thank you very much. I really appreciate the support. Yes, your donation put you in the draw for our 1 of 1 hoodie for the channel. So thank you. I appreciate the support. Wendy asks, has been listening in. Good show. Thanks, Ben. Hey, Wendy, how are you? Hope you're having a great weekend, my friend. I hope you're feeling okay. Normally you chat with us. I hope you're doing okay. I hope you're not feeling sick or something. You know, I care about my people in my chat. It was fun. I hope so, because I feel like sometimes we get so bogged down in the nasty details of true crime that it's nice to have a bit more of a relaxed, thing, something that's a bit more, relaxed, not as annoying or not annoying, like depressive. Thank you. I appreciate it. You guys are all very kind. I gotta remember to take these glasses off when I'm looking at stuff, other things. We may have to edit some stuff. Long day, tired. Okay, well that's okay. I just hope you're doing okay. I don't want you to be sick or something. Yeah, I think that's it. I think we're about done. Is there anything I missed that you guys wanted me to cover? Oh, by the way, I'm working on a. Who messaged me? Oh. Oh, okay. Thanks. Someone messaged me back about a different case. I will say this: I am working on a video for Brittany Drexel. It's a standalone video. I've done this a couple of times, but it will be live. It'll be done live. It won't be pre-recorded because I seem to do those better than the pre-recorded. it'll be done live and it'll be an A to Z on Brittany Drexel. I feel like it's the only way I can just let that case go. I don't know why, but I so attached to that case. I think it's because it's one of the first ones I did when I came into true crime like 15 years ago. And even though it's been resolved now, I still feel like, I don't know, something in my head makes it feel like it's unresolved. And I'm like, I wonder if I do this video and make, because I've searched on YouTube and a lot of the videos are okay, they're good. But I feel like if I do my own and I tell you guys everything from the start to the end, maybe that'll be enough for me to feel like it's done. And I hope that'll be the case. I hope so anyway, because I don't know. I feel like I can't shake it. I can't let it go. And even though that someone's been arrested, Angel was arrested earlier this year on lying to the police. So if you know that case, they said they weren't going to arrest Angel, but they ended up arresting her. So, hey, love is a 4-letter word. How are you? Hey, Kim. Good to see you. Good to see you all. What are we going to do tomorrow night? Well, we're going to watch the Niners. We're going to watch the Niners. We're going to watch the Niners early. What time are they playing? 49ers. What time are they playing tomorrow? Oh my god. Wait, why did the time jump? No, that's not right. The Niners are playing at 5 a.m. tomorrow? How does that make sense? Someone tell me how that makes sense. I thought the early games started at 7 a.m. in Australia. That can't be right. The earliest games in the NFL are 1 p.m., right? Or is it 1 p.m. Florida time? Is it really like 11 hours from now that they're going to play? That's really early. Well, we'll be on early apparently because they're going to be done quick. Angela says maybe you just need to do a show to feel like it's come to a conclusion. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I thought all the early games finished after the time, after you guys came off daylight savings and we went on to daylight savings, that the games would be at 7 a.m. in the morning or 8 a.m., not 5. 5 a.m.'s early in the season. Yeah, that's weird. Because like I've watched the football for years, and yeah, normally after November, even the early games are like 6 a.m., 7 a.m., 8 a.m., not 5 a.m. That, hold on, let me look this up. Yeah, game time. Nah, it keeps saying 5 a.m. What's kickoff time? 5:15 p.m. No, that can't be right. Kickoff time. I don't know, but it's definitely saying it's going to be kickoff is 1 p.m. Eastern. 1 p.m. Eastern apparently. Yeah, 1 p.m. Eastern. So what time is it now? Wait, so is it like 6 a.m. in the morning for you? No, 1 a.m. Okay, I get it. So 40 minutes ago in 12 hours will be 1 p.m. in the afternoon. Okay. All right. Well, apparently we're going on at 5 a.m. to watch the Niners. You live 3 miles from Levi's Stadium, so you must live in Santa Clara. So yeah, you must live in Santa Clara. Oh, really? Cool. Are you a Niners fan? Are you going to watch the Niners? Christian McCaffrey is back tomorrow. Christian McCaffrey from his bilateral, what did he have? Bilateral Achilles tendonitis. So that means he had it in both legs. He had Achilles tendonitis in both legs at the same time. Bilateral Achilles tendonitis. How painful would that be? He wouldn't be able to walk. But apparently he's back. Offensive Player of the Year is back for the Niners tomorrow or today. Oh, okay. I'm glad I seem to attract a lot of 49er fans. You know, I've thought of doing some sport-related live shows, but I'm not sure if anyone would watch. I mean, I'd have to start an entirely different channel for it and do like 49ers with Ping or something, but I don't know. We'll see. I don't know if anyone would want to hear what I have to say about the 49ers. Maybe. We'll see. All right. I'm going over for a holiday. Who said this? Who told you? All right, let's get out of here. Hey, I love you all so very much. I really do have the best viewers in the world, and I really couldn't ask for anything more. Except for I hope one day we hit the actual algorithm and we gain like 20,000 subscribers. That would be really helpful. That would help a lot. I hope one day that does happen for us. Actually, before we go, actually, I have two questions. I want to hear everyone's opinion on this in the comments. So we have a choice. Going forward, you can have late shows every day, or you can have early shows every day. Oh, no, sorry. Early shows Monday to Thursday, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we do the late show. Or you can have, yeah, you can be like that. So it can be Monday to Thursday, you can have the early show, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you can have the late show. Or we can do late shows every day, but no early shows at all. So let me know what your opinion is, and we'll have a look at what the consensus has to say. Because I feel like a lot of people don't like the early show. No, we're not able to. Not able to. Has to be one or the other. At least until next winter. Until next winter, when the time zones change back, then we can do 2 shows a day again. But with the way the time zones work right now, it pushes everything into the last part of the day. So I don't know how to explain it, but we're in winter. My show started at like 10 a.m. in the morning, right? And then I did my late show at like 2 p.m. and I got out of here at like 3:30 in the afternoon. Now the shows don't start until like 2:30 in the afternoon, and I wouldn't be out of here until like 7 p.m. at night. So it doesn't work, unfortunately. I work during early. Well, let me know if everyone wants just the late show and we think that's going to be the most viewers and that's the show that everyone likes. I can change it to just late shows, but there would be no 9 p.m. 8:30 show at all. Let me know. Let me know in the comments. And I really need to hear from everyone because otherwise I don't want to make a decision based on just 2 people or something. It has to be a majority. Okay? Put a vote on the community page. Oh yeah, we could do that. We could do that. All right. Remember, this month we're going to give away one of those hoodies with the graphic design. This one to one of our lucky donators. So we already had a couple people in tonight. The Thoris, thank you very much, and she also gave away a membership. And Love You More sent in one too. They're going to be in the running to get it. One of one. You'll have the what would you call it? Like it's like pre-production. So you guys would have the one before we go into like making a lot of them, like a tester or like a something like that. I know it's hard, and it's hard for me too because I do one thing and it pisses off half the other people, and I do something else and it pisses off the other half of the people. So it's. Oh, I'm glad you guys like it. I made it yesterday. Like I said, I was making it for a thumbnail, and then we were talking about the jumpers, and I was going to use the ones we have in the corner with the seal or whatever you call it. But then everyone likes this one a lot more. By the way, we are looking at adding where some of these colors are. We can actually turn this into like sparkly reflective, like in some of these, like where it's white or whatever. We can actually make it so when you walk, it'll glitter a little bit. It'll look a little shiny. So we're looking at doing that. It'll look really premium. Like a beta, yeah. What would you call like an item, like the first one? Like, not like an alpha test, like... It's got a name, I'm just not remembering it. I can't find it, but, like, you'll often see it in, like, video games. Like, they'll be like, "This video game came from the factory," when they were just testing it, and it's got a real name, but I can't remember. No, that's not it. I'll figure it out. So, yeah, it'll look really cool. So we're working on some more of the, like, some more of the smaller bits of the design to try and get it, like, really pretty. So, yeah, some of these bits on the corners, they'll have, like, reflective in the screen print. So when you walk, it will shimmer a little bit. So it'll look cool. Prototype. That's it. Thank you, Texas Roadrunner. Thank you for breaking my mental block. Prototype. That's it. Thank you. It'll be a prototype. So yeah, it's a prototype. We're only making one of each design. But since everyone loved the graffiti one so much, that's the one that's going to go into the public for you guys. The other 3 are for me. I'm going to wear them on the show. So the other 3 are for Ping, so that I can wear something branded. All right. Thank you, Love is a 4-letter word. You are very, very kind. Let me just log in. That is very kind, and I know that's you because you've been very, very generous in the past. From Love is a 4-letter word. Thank you, my friend. I will definitely put you in for 4 tickets. So the way we've been doing it is, like, for every $5 you get an entry. So that people who donate a little more will get a couple more chances like that. Well, we can get you play whatever. So you just have to let me know. So we can get XL. I think we go up to 4. Hold on, let me go to the web page. So our company in Melbourne, they're going to be Australian made too. They're from Australian cotton. Where is it? I think we can go up to like a 4XL. I think that's the largest, and the lowest is a XS. So depending on which size you take, I hope 4XL would fit someone. Yeah, so we can do that for you. It's okay. We can make it in whatever size you'd like. That's all good. Yeah, no, we're not going to make it in like an XL and make you wear it, because what if you're a size 4? You'd have to wear it as a 90. So, well, we're going to get the first 3 made, and I'm going to wear them, and the 4th one we're going to give away to someone, because that way we can get it made and just ship it to you. If I get it made, send it here and show you guys or whatever, I have to pay postage on it like twice, because I have to get it from the company and then package up, send it to you. As where if I do it this way, they can make it in your size and just ship it directly to you. So it means I don't have to do anything. It's easier that way. But yes. But what I will show you is when we finalize this design and we get it all looking primo, I'll ask the company to send me some photos of it, like what it will look like on a real jumper, so that you guys can have a look. Because yeah, these are sort of test runs. We're not sure if this will be the one we end up staying with, or because when we go to another company later on, we're gonna have to ramp it up and order like 100 at a time and stuff like that. But hoodies are the number one thing I get asked for. I don't get asked for t-shirts. I don't get asked for, I don't know, a hat or whatever. Everyone's like, Ping, I want a hoodie. You wear a hoodie every night. And I'm like, yeah. So that's what we're doing. Anyway, I love you all. I feel like I'm rambling, and I should get you guys out of here because it's very late in the morning. But I'll be back tomorrow after the 49ers game. Pray for the Niners. Pray for the Niners. They really need a win. And they need Christian McCaffrey to look like the guy who won Offensive Player of the Year. Pray for the Niners. And I will see you after the show, after the Niners finish tomorrow. So we'll probably be on 8:30, 9 o'clock, something like that. Until next time, my friends. Bye. Bye-bye. Oh, yeah. Our StreamYard's still broken. Still broken. So apparently we're in October, according to StreamYard. Bye.